And Art, it's always very good to see you. And I am just pleased as punch to be able to talk to you about the latest episode of your series. It's on YouTube right now. It's also showing on the various channels of KUM TV about traditional fishing practices, where they came from, how they're being continued to this day, and how important that is to maintain the techniques and the metaphorical styles of our ancestors. So fantastic work as always, Art.
Thank you very much, Jason and Hafade.
And the title are of your work, Ipescador Zan Ipesador, is very and you're a lifelong journalist, and I'm not at all surprised, but still like wildly impressed how you would actually capture the sentiment of the piece in that.
Well, the reason I selected that, and it was a bit of a eyebrow raiser at the beginning, because all the Chamorros said Ipescador Zan Ipesador. It's always been Ipescador or the pesador, meaning you fish or you sell, but never the fishing and the selling together. And so with the practice after the interviews that I collected, which by the way, I didn't set out to get fishing interviews, it was oral history collection. And from those oral history collections, I extracted all the fishing, because it started to come up with the men and some women, don't get me wrong, some women.
Absolutely. Some of the best fisher people I know are females, and they're very, very good.
Well, I tried it. It's not easy to throw in, but mine opened up in the first row. So anyway, the pesador is because of the justification of cost today. It didn't always cost so much. They used to weave nets a certain way, and now the materials cost a lot more for them to weave it today. So over time, the need to pakti is still very strong. Mm-hmm. And they do very well with that.
Sharing your bounty and sharing your harvest. So if you and I both go out fishing and you happen to catch 100 fish and I catch none, you're going to give me 50 just on principle.
Absolutely. It's togetherness, right?
Is there anything more tomorrow than that? That's enough of Malik out on the water.
We don't want anyone to go home empty-handed.
Right.
Yeah. So the pesador part is, as this series continues in partition 3, partition 4, there's 6 partitions altogether. You will see how the subsistence practice, the pakti, becomes the sell, has to be sold. And we can't frown upon anyone who sells it, because it's really just realistic to do so.
I mean, and when we've done interviews with our friends in the private sector too, and we say, technically 2 different firms or entities may be competitors, but we're not trying to put each other out of business. Again, we believe in Inafa Malik here, and it's all about the good of the community.
Well, that's part of the tradition.
Right. And this episode, Art, particularly you focused on the talåya, something that, everybody that's driven by, East Sagani Bay has seen, these masters, bringing in the nets, casting the nets and everything. I mean, it is a very, very learned skill. But why did you choose the talåya for this episode specifically?
It's because it's part of the methods of fishing. There are many methods. Talåya is one of them. It's net fishing. So we broke the net fishing up into 2 partitions, because talåya in and of itself is perhaps the most popular and the most practiced. And then
it's debatably also the most difficult.
Yeah, well, yeah. And Gadi and Tekin and Sunsulu are coming up soon, very soon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's also net fishing.
Yeah, one of the many, many interviews, and this episode is just chock full of people with just such deep expertise and passion. And one of the people that you feature in the episode is my friend James Borja. And if there was anyone who has a resume of expertise about fishing, it would be James. A master underwater fisherman, and he even says he operates the talåya with respect, with humility, because it's a very complicated, can we call it an apparatus to manage? Or
method? Yeah. Well, it's a very difficult method to practice.
And it's such captive viewing, because again, the people you interview, the wide range of topics that they cover, with passion and with expertise. I mean, it's just so amazing. And you can actually watch it right now. It's on the Micronesian Publishing YouTube channel. The link's right here. It's also on the various stations of KUM.
We are thrilled beyond expectation that the reception that we've received from tradition. We know that talåya is gonna knock it out of the park.
Absolutely.
And that's only the beginning. So keep watching, and we'll keep working, because that's what we're here for.
All right, so I'm gonna let you go, R, because I know you're already
Thank
working
you.
on episode 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to like 17. Because
Only 6.
she never stops working. So again, if you can book some time with Rlene, it is not time wasted. It's an amazing experience. So
I
R,
appreciate it.
we
Thank you
thank you
very
as
much.
always. Si Masi.
Adios.